Alright, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, part 6 of this series of taking the My Forex Funds 50K challenge. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video and wanting to kind of keep up with me on how this challenge is going. So this week was interesting. Learned a lot for sure. Had a lot of ups and downs. So this week actually started out absolutely amazing for me. Ended up being able to hold some runners and make like a good chunk of, or actually made back all of that money I lost last Friday. And then unfortunately this Friday, which is today, had another big loss because I made the dumb decision to hold through news, thinking that my setup was gonna hold, and it didn't. Tanked, and just a dumb loss really. So that really stinks. I still ended up making money this week on the challenge. I still was profitable, pretty much 1%, but I was up like 5%. So it definitely sucks. Fridays have not been treating me well lately, so I'm curious if I should stop trading Fridays or at least just try and get one like early trade and then just be done. Or not even trade Fridays at all if I'm already up so much during the week, which is probably what I should have done. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the trades I took this week, wins and losses. So the first one started off this week with a banger on Euro USD, 5-minute chart. We were in a solid downtrend, trading below the 200 moving average. We started trading above it. We broke out. We're making new highs and higher lows. So we created this demand zone here, went up, breaking this high right here. I can mark that as well. Breaking this high, not a straight line, but you know what I mean. Comes up, comes back down to the demand zone, enter at the candle break, boom. This was a 5-pip stop, 15-pip TP, and it actually ended up continuing to run. So I really could have left the runner and caught a major, 50, 60 pip trade on this one, but I was content with my profits and, thought I didn't think it was going to go that high and just fly. So if you're content with your profits, just cut them and be happy with it. And I was that day. So this was a huge trade for me. I think I made like 1.5% or something like that on this trade, which is crazy. Kind of getting myself out of that hole from last Friday. So moving on to AU, another demand setup. I believe this was on Tuesday. So I started off the week just undefeated, just beautiful trades. Another demand setup, like I said, similar to EU, where we started breaking below and trading below the 200 moving average. Then we broke above, started trading above it. We broke this hot 5-minute high, creating this demand, come right back to it. Boom, wicks out of the zone. If you have a supplier demand zone and you see price just wick out of it, then that means that it's probably a good chance that demand zone or supply zone is going to hold as long as you don't have any candle closures within it. So this one I actually got an aggressive. I would usually wait for the candle break, which would be up here, but instead I waited, or as soon as I saw this wick and just start flying up, wicking right out of the demand zone, I got it a little bit early. 3-pip stop loss, immediately just flew, and I took around 7 pips on this trade, 8 pips. So still, basically a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio trade, great trade. And on this one, I think I made another 1% or a little over 1%. So I started off the week, and I believe these trades right here, those two, EU and AU, those got me back above break even on my challenge to start off the week. So it was absolutely great. But moving on here, we have another AU win, and I can delete this zone now because it's the demand zone from way back there. I believe this was yesterday. Took this supply. We're trading below the 200 moving average, just creating lower highs and lower lows. So we have this supply zone here. I didn't think it was going to reach all the way up there, but it did reach all the way up, wicked in again like the EU entry, or like the other AU entry, and then took a little bit more than the candle break on this one, and then ended up taking around 8 pips, and then it wicked back up. But then if I play it out, it actually never hit stop loss and continued downward. So another good trade. These are tighter trades. This week, besides the EU trade, didn't really have a lot of opportunities for like runners and stuff like that. It was just a rough week overall, not gonna lie. Let me know in the comments if you guys had a good week or a rough week trading. For me, it was definitely tougher. It just happened to start out just picking the right trades and really being patient for my setups. So now let's go ahead and get into the losses. Today, 2 losses today, GJ and GU. And GU was the big loss, but this was a small loss. And this is not the typical setup I will take. So I, again, kind of felt dumb for taking this trade to begin with. But there was a 200 moving average right up here. We're trading below it. And there's a bunch of liquidity sitting below this zone right here. And you can see all these wicks here, a wick here, all these rejections here. I just thought that this was a liquidity grab and that we were going to fly up at least to this supply zone. So that's where I was going to take my TP, which would have still been 11 or 12 pips. So I got in at the candle break, and then it just immediately tanked. And I actually got out like right around here, something like that. So it was a small loss. It wasn't too crazy, but a dumb loss nonetheless, just because I could have avoided it if I just stuck to straight up supply and demand setups, which is what I will be doing from now on. Lesson learned. That's what it is. That's part of trading, y'all. You're going to lose. And the only thing you can do is look back at your trade and, understand why you lost it. So we'll go to GU, and this was the trade that lost me most of my progress this week. Which is pretty much just like last week where Friday just screwed me. But it's all on me. It was my decision to take this trade. I should have closed before news, but I didn't. But GU was super bullish. We had broken a high here, created this demand setup right here. We came back, it wicked in, immediately flew out of it. That's what made me think that this was going to play out. And this was like 15 minutes before news. So I was like, all right, let's get in this demand zone, get in, and then hopefully get out before news happens. But unfortunately, it did not play out. I got in, and spreads were already high because it was already flying. So got in a few pips above the entry that I wanted right at the candle break. And I was literally just looking for a 1-to-1 here, knowing that there's a supply zone up here as well that I could have just bounced off of. But I was just looking for a quick trade in and out before news and then just be done for the day Friday. And with a win, would have been great, but did not play out that way. It started coming down here, and this is right around when news was going to come out. And I was like, man, it's bullish, it's breaking highs, trading above the 200. I was like, I think that this is going to play out even with news. I think that, that this demand zone is going to hold. If anything, it might bounce down, but then immediately come back up and just fly. But again, you can hope all you want, but the market will humble you, and it did right here. I should have gotten out before news. I didn't, so I ended up tanking right here, and I think I got out around the 200, which is like a 20 pip loss, which definitely stunk. So now I brought my challenge all the way from negative 3.5%, I think, to positive almost 2% this week. That was yesterday. That's where I was at, almost up 2% on the challenge, feeling great. Today, I'm back down on the challenge, negative. Well, I can show you right here. Let's look at my dashboard. I am back down 2.72%. So today just sucked. Look, today's loss almost 4.5%. So pretty much all my profits, almost. I still was up about 1% for the week. So really, I can't complain a ton. But I was really hoping to at least close the week break even, getting my challenge back up to break even. But I held today, and it just really was not making smart decisions. I was Monday through Friday, and then once today hit, I don't know why I just decided to hold through news and take that GJ trade. I think I was just getting a little more anxious and just wanted to get a quick win and be done for the day. But But now I know for sure I will not be holding through news. I will not be taking liquidity grab setups. I will just be trading my supply and demand, no news. And that's how it's going to have to be. So it is what it is, y'all. Trading will humble you, once you get overconfident. And I really wasn't like super overconfident. I just, I didn't lose it. I just didn't stick to my rules really because I shouldn't have traded that news. But the old me, I probably would have already blown this account. I wouldn't even have gotten the retry to begin with. So, it's a learning process, and I can definitely still get myself out of this. I have 16 days left, so after the weekend, I'll have basically 2 more weeks, which will roughly be like 10 trading days left. And next week is NFP, so that's definitely unfortunate. But my best bet is to try and get this back in profit next week, and then I'll have a week to try and pass it, or at least close in profit to see if I can get another retry. But man, yeah, it definitely stinks, but it is what it is. That's trading. You're continuously learning, continuously making good moves, making bad moves, but slowly I can still see myself making progress, which is what matters. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this this update, part 6. I'm hoping that next week, even though it's NFP week, hopefully it'll be a little bit cleaner of a week, and I can get this challenge back in profit, and we'll be looking good moving forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't to keep up with these videos and the updates on how my challenges are going. But I appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.